the Polish match. So that looks like what we're getting a Falco versus Peach, my least favorite matchup, but a matchup I have a lot of thoughts on. And I think actually, if I'm gonna make a prediction, I think the real thing's style is the kind of style that fits that sort of matchup. It's very positional, like I'm gonna make your
Mhm.
life hell by just like placing back airs in a certain space by, moving in a certain way, by taking position and really leveraging that positional advantage. Like that's all the stuff that Peach doesn't like because Peach is slow as hell, man.
Yeah.
She has to like force certain situations. So I'm really excited to see how this works out.
Yeah, and it looks like we got the update from production that this is our next set actually too. So that should be an exciting one to see. I mean, the big thing for me is, we had Polish face off against Albert for what was it, week 4 or week 3? And Albert, I think, took the set in 5, which was
Yeah.
really good. It was a really exciting set to see overall. I'm kind of interested in seeing how Polish makes adjustments to Falco's because I would almost say that Albert and RealThing can play a little bit similarly, at least from what we just saw in his set versus Lucky. So I'm wondering where Polish is going to kind of polish his punish game and everything like that, if that wasn't enough of alliteration for you guys.
Yeah. I am positive that it is Polish, by the way. I know on Polish's Twitter it says Polish on it, like Pole
Okay.
and then dash ish. But I don't blame because it's like, yeah, I mean Polish, that sounds like you are a Polish person. So would it be Polish? And then he has the shoe polish on his Twitter thing, but it is Polish. So
Okay, so the
uh
reason I'm asking actually, and I'm not going to put this person on blast, but I did get a comment on my YouTube channel like today or yesterday that said like it's pronounced polish, dude. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I've been saying it wrong this entire time."
no, it's Polish for sure. Looks like Real Thing is going to be the one that we are spectating, Walt.
Okay.
Um, that's good. I'm already in. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it
uh,
should be a fun one though. Again, like I really am, I want to point back to the Polish Albert set as much as I can and kind of see if we can find any maybe differences stylistically in how Real Thing handles the matchup versus Albert. And then of course Polish is kind of the one that needs to make the adjustments in order to beat the Falco here.
yeah, it's interesting. I think this is one of those matchups that like, I'm gonna full on say I am biased, but like, I think this is one of the matchups that is the least understood who wins it right now.
Hmm.
Maybe in all of Smash, where like we have a lot of matchups in Melee where people have big opinions like Marth Fox. Oh, it's 60-40. This matchup, obviously, people still have their own kind of thoughts, but because Armada's not as dominant now, because Falco sort of had a period where he was sort of falling off when Armada was more active in the later stage of kind of the meta, like 2017, 2018. We don't see as many like top level Peach versus Falco games as we
Hmm.
used to. At least like ones where both people are quite even and capable. So I honestly don't know which character wins. I think there's good arguments for both, and I think because of that, there's like a lot of stuff that people can still kind of optimize and figure out. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, case in point, the reason I keep bringing up this Albert Polish set, that's probably one of the first ones that we've truly gotten in a while when it comes to this online era of play. I mean, of course, we had LOD early on in the online uh, modes, but I haven't seen LOD play too much against space animals specifically. And Polish and LOD are just two very, very different beasts when it comes to how they kind of approach neutral and their movement. And, Polish is just a freak of nature, I think, when it comes to how he chooses to move around and go for these crazy shield pressure options and everything like that.
yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't want people to think that I'm saying that there are no peaches. Right now, we have Keizu, who's been doing excellent. Of course, we have Polish on screen. Lod, like you mentioned. I know Nico, like Ryobeat, is going to be playing more now that LAN is going to be more of an option. So we have plenty of good, capable players. But I think this level of player where they're like very good but not top 10 is where we've seen the most of these games, and it's where I feel like both parties have a lot to improve and a lot to kind of figure out, because oftentimes like innovation in Melee usually comes from this skill level. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this
Like,
is this is like the big data section, I think, where you find the meat of how this matchup's gonna work. and then it kind of becomes optimized, I think, when you get to those people at the tippy top level.
Yeah, well, not even just that. Like it's also that I think when you are thinking about matchups, like so here's an example. So HBox, for example, still, and this is now almost like to his detriment given how his performances have been lately, but like HBox doesn't reaction tech chase rest, and for a long time puffs that were more in the mid level were like doing reaction tech chase rests and doing like dare rests and other optimal things that HBox wasn't doing because they were trying to like separate themselves as players. And so in a similar way, like we might see a player like TheRealThing who's very, very smart, very, very capable, doing stuff that like a Mango or something wouldn't be doing in the matchup, but like might be better just because he's trying to find like optimizations and little things that he can kind of do to sort of separate himself from other players.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And not a ton of optimization just yet in this first game one, but we do have probably our first stock of the set going to Polish over here on Battlefield. Again, I mean, this is kind of shades of Polish Albert, where it feels like the two of them are just kind of messing each other up really early on.
Yeah, I actually think this is one of those matchups where I hate to play it, but I really do think it's cool to watch. And, you know, I actually, honestly, I was gonna show my bias and say I really like Polish as a player, but I think RealThing, you know, I'm a Falco man, so I have bias on both ends, and that was a really really solid jab back air to close out the stock. So good stuff to both of them.
Ooh, misses the regrab off the dash attack. That's a huge punish miss right there. I don't know if Polish actually could have gotten there in time, but it looked pretty close. That being said, though, kind of name of the game, Falco controlling the ground kind of horizontally with all of these lasers and then kind of making Peach come in at awkward angles. Gets things a little bit awkward here because, you know, we've seen a few times already RealThing just kind of snuffing out falling approaches from the Peach. And here we are again with just another recovery here out of Polish.
Yeah, I feel like what I was predicting about RealThing's style does seem to be the case, where like this very kind of space-oriented Falco, who in this matchup is doing a lot of kind of like full hop back airs to try to make it difficult for Peach to get in. Platform camping a little bit right now, but of course he's at 106, so you can't blame him. I think that's lining up well against Polish's style.
Yeah, big trade here, though. Only 12% taken in the meantime, so not a huge deficit here for Polish. Tries to item drop off the platform. I don't know if that was to look for anything or maybe to just lose the turnip right quick.
No, for sure. And, you know, I don't know. I really like what I'm seeing from RealThing. I think, you know, just very, very, very capable player.
Yeah, and then what you said earlier, controlling a space really is the name of the game. Like, so many times I feel like your average Falco just gets the laser hit confirm, and then they're like, oh, I gotta go in. Like, this is my time to get damage. This is my time to really rack on the advantage. And RealThing just showing a lot of poise in this matchup so far.
Definitely. And I think one thing we want to look out for from both players is the float heights that Peach is opting to use and the laser heights that RealThing is opting to use. So very often in this matchup, you'll see Falcos like to go for kind of higher lasers to deal with Peach kind of floating at that like high full hoppy, mid full hoppy height. But then if she's playing more grounded, you want to be doing these kind of lower lasers to deal with, or like mid height lasers to deal with her approach. So it's a really interesting nuance of the matchup. Is that going to do it though?
Oh, yeah, so many times Polish coming down with that down air, RealThing not waiting for long enough to get out of there. Not impossible for Polish, but very scary.
Yeah, this is tough because it's all about whether he can clean up that stock, and he does. So now, you know, if you're a Falco player, there's kind of that like puff
Jump.
effect. Actually, that could be bad. Oh my God. He just calls him out with the laser and it's over. Wow.
Yeah, first one on the board. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm assuming we're going to see FD right off the bat from Polish. You know, chain grab, of course, huge effect here. Can get it to rather high percents and most of the time find a kill off of it. And also just kind of makes the neutral a lot more simplified. But again, to your point that you said earlier, Radar, I'm kind of nervous about a no-platform stage with someone like RealThing who's so good at controlling space.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think FD still a very strong counter pick. I think in general in this matchup, stages are very, very important. Like, you know, Yoshi's super strong. Wow, actually opts to go Fox. Oh. That's very interesting.
I remember seeing RealThing's Fox at one point, but I didn't know that this was a common counter pick for him. So this changes the discussion a little bit, Radar.
Yeah, no, definitely an interesting option. It's not like there's no chain grab here either, but Fox obviously has kind of the wave shine follow-ups. Up throw up air can be
Stitch?
an option. Yeah, Stitch is big.
Oh, he's scared. Okay. So much
I mean,
corner pressure out of Polish, and I feel like the Stitch almost made that a little more awkward, where Polish wanted to retain the Stitch instead of just closing out the stock.
yeah, I'm still kind of surprised by this choice. I feel like Polish was struggling to deal with some of the options that are almost exclusive to Falco in a way, although obviously Fox back air and Falco back air can be played similarly. So I don't know. I guess I'm interested to see how this plays out. I certainly would not have switched if I was RealThing, but I'm also in the commentary desk and not the player desk, so.
Ooh, misses the grab there. Wow, just calls it out with drill and then calls out the missed tech also with the forward air. I mean, Nair probably would have done the job just as well, but here we are again, 12% yet again separates them between stocks.
Good SDI doesn't lead to a string of up airs, which is really important to building that percent, and actually does call it out with the forward air. Gets the down smash too. Oh my gosh.
The hard callouts here, and yeah, this is a really tough position. Gotta wait for the tech roll away, of course. Peach can never get there in time.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's a perfect example of how Peach just sort of can't cover options the way other top tiers can.
Should be rinse and repeat. Yeah, it got a little bit weird with how far down RealThing dipped for that recovery, so Polish looking for, oh my god, and there's another one.
Yeah, that is big. But, this is where the reflector can come up and I call it reflector, where the shine's reflector can be relevant. Love the shine pressure, though. Oh my god.
Yeah, lots of blue lines on the
going.
screen.
Oh,
doesn't even matter.
I cannot believe he got that up smash. It just looked like it was a bit too far away, but I wonder if Polish could have wiggled out there. It seemed like a little slow. Oh,
There's
SE on the grab and gets the thing. Yeah, SE on the drill, sorry. This could be big damage.
Should be able to find this until pretty, like, high 120-ish, maybe, as long as he finds DI behind.
If he keeps going for the no DI, at a certain point you have to nair. So like around, yeah, like 110 or so, like what we saw basically, there's a point where it gets pretty tight, and usually they just nair to kind of get into an edge guard situation, unless you keep DIing left or right, but still gets a ton of percent and the stock for it. So, such a strong option.
I'm dropping the shield stab. Polish is insane.
Oh, we're right back in there.
Yeah, and I'm guessing we're just gonna
player.
So I guess the question is, like, does RealThing want to go off stage with that chain grab and then force the edge guard a little bit earlier? He gets out kind of at 100%. This is still a pretty rough position overall, though.
Whew. Doesn't die from that, though. That looks like that was basically the limit. I guess because he sent him the exact opposite direction in the stage, but...
Oh, no!
Oh my god, the turnip!
Everything Polish did there, and he cleans up the game. That was so crazy. Polish did, it looked like, and I want to see if I can catch it on the replay here, but I don't think I got it in time. I think he did a double hyper float where he did like hyper float nair, hyper float back air, and then got the whole situation where he bonked the turn up on the way out and cleans up the stock either way. But everything about that sequence was just so fast out of Polish. On the counter pick too, but all things considered, the Fox looked pretty solid, I think, overall. I guess it's a question of, again, what you said earlier, kind of the things that RealThing was doing as Falco seemed to be working very well against Polish, and we're back with the Falco pick here and SD.
Yeah, I'm just mentioning, well, if you want to try holding tab, chat is saying that commentary is a bit behind, so if we hold tab, we should be able to catch up a bit, but game so
I'm
far...
back at like 738 now.
Yeah, 6-5. That's where I'm at right now. So should be good. Already, RealThing has a stock lead. I mentioned before how big stage counter picks are in this matchup, and we are absolutely seeing why. You can get kill confirms on this stage on Peach. Wow, the Shy Guy's interfering with the laser there.
Oh,
but yeah, you can kill Peach at crazy early percents on this stage. It's insane. Ooh,
jeez.
Love that pressure.
Yeah, fall off nair was correct there, but doesn't quite connect in time. And RealThing's just gonna make it hurt again.
All right. Going for these up airs, just trying to find some damage. Not able to get too much off at this percent. Ooh. I've noticed that RealThing likes to go for the kind of the ledge stall where you just like jump rather than using your up B. I'm just curious why, because like I think that's a bit slower, but maybe that's what RealThing's used to using when they when he practices ledge dashing. Really good platform pressure
Gosh,
though.
this
Oh
movement,
my god.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll kill. This stage, man, very very good in the matchup. Same with FT. Like they're both crazy.
Yeah, smooth as butter with that platform movement right now, and a huge two-stock advantage partially by virtue of Polish just kind of dying at 0 at the start of this game, but advantage nonetheless. And RealThing wants to close this out right quick.
Very, very clean shine spike. I mean, just the movement has been so insane. Even the punishes, like, goes for the up air back air. It looks like not that significant, but RealThing is finding situations where it's like, that's all you can get, Like, you can get the up air back air. It's a good, like, positional play, and you just get a little bit of chip damage. It's just very, very smart.
Yeah, this is tough, and chip damage, I feel like, is the name of the game right now, because kind of strong back air is going to start posing a pretty significant threat rather soon on this stage.
Yeah, and even just like any up tilt back air, like you're saying, like there's so many setups. Shine, up air, exactly. Like it's this is what I'm saying. The matchup is like, I feel like there's so much to talk about with it. Like the stage counter picks. I feel like it's very hard to say who wins or loses on certain stages, and then other stages, like say FD or Yoshi's, it's like, oh my god, it's clear who wins. But what about Dreamland? Like Dreamland, you get a ton of spaces, Falco, but
Yeah,
Peach gets kind
I
of her
feel like
paradise.
that's probably what we're going to be looking at for this game 4. But again, it's the same question that I posed to you when we saw the FD counter pick. It's like, RealThing is good at controlling space. RealThing is good at playing the defensive game. So if it gets to a point where it's slowed down like this, is RealThing going to be able to just completely stifle all of Polish's approaches and make it really hard for him to find any conversions?
Yeah, and I keep thinking back to that pick of going Fox over the Falco when the stage was larger. I wonder. I doubt we're gonna see it in in what am I saying? Dreamland. But it doesn't even go
okay.
Dreamland. Okay.
Yeah, perhaps some of the same rationale that you and I were just talking about in terms of just the laser control that RealThing's been showing through the span of this set. A little bit more survivability off the top, perhaps, as well. Those bonkers shines off the top aren't really going to do it as early as they were in the last game. But it doesn't mean that RealThing's going to have any less pressure.
I think one thing that Polish might be thinking is exactly what you already said about like the space and the Dreamland stuff, but also we have seen such a refined platform punish game from RealThing. Like just the way he has been moving has been so fluid and consistent. And if you take the FOD platforms, I can throw that off a little bit, and maybe that's what he wants. Wow, edge cancels back air. What a good option.
Ooh, ledge is super tricky for Peach, but gets out okay. Tech chase on the platform, gets a pair of nairs, and then just lasers on Mrs. Ledge.
Actually, this is the part in the match where, okay, I was going to say where, this could really swing the other direction, where Peach holds on to that percent lead and gets, another 80 from a down smash or something, but RealThing not letting that happen.
Yeah, I think by kind of like traditional sense of the on-paper matchup, Peach can be very attrition-y, right? Where, I almost see it similarly to how Ice Climbers play, where if they get kind of a stock advantage, they're cool with trading, they're cool with a couple neutral wins, but Polish just kind of making it all work here with that stock. And again, we have a big lead, and the discussion comes up again. Is he going to be able to hold it?
Shine? Oh, it doesn't kill, though. That's actually, that's like a weird percent where on this stage, just because of the slightly higher ceiling, it's like, will it, won't it? It's not always going to work.
Wow, empty hop into the shine, and then just hard calls out he's going to die for it.
Could still keep going to the side B, yeah. This is harder than it looks sometimes. Yeah, really good shine turnaround back air, a down air, so.
Okay, back to the lasers. Again, small difference between these two, and this, again, shades of Albert Polish again, where they kind of are just going back and forth, trading stocks, and beating each other up.
Yeah, interesting forward air. Probably was a misinput, but yeah, just such good plays so far. But the chain grab, when it kind of enters FD mode, almost only one platform.
Yeah, able to get there on the top platform, though, kind of makes that a little bit awkward to reset the situation. And now it's RealThing with the small percent lead.
Yeah, and RealThing putting on so much pressure on Polish's shield, forcing him to roll pretty much every time. But he does read the movement there. Oh, just gets the wrong side of Nair. Again!
Okay.
Oh, too afraid to throw it. Didn't want to waste it.
Wow, dash attack clanks with the Phantasm there. And these two are neck and neck right now. Gets the ground tech there, able to kind of not get pushed back as far. But here we are again in edge guard position.
Falco's full hop is so fast, man, and it's just so high. Like, he is able to have vertical mobility that pretty much no other character in the game has, and it is so useful against a character like Peach.
Hard call out again with the forward air right here. And can he pick up the stock? He can, but it wasn't by virtue of RealThing not missing the ledge there.
Okay, once again, we're at the low percents. So how does RealThing open up Polish, and will Polish get like a quick down smash to get a lead? Looks like he's going for it, at least.
Just run straight into it, up tilt. On the hard call out, I don't even know if that down smash was intentional, because I think Polish initiated float there on top platform.
Yeah, hard to say for sure. Both of them are just like kind of like, it's not like they're fishing, because fishing like implies that they're like forcing it, but they're really like kind of looking for that one opening and trying to play as safe as possible. And this could be that opening.
Yeah, high percent for Polish. Pretty scary position to be in. Trades hit again, but RealThing at the lower percent here, not going to get sent as far. Plenty of time to come back and recover.
You know, so often they talk about moments in sets that kind of decide the set, and this feels like one of them. You know, they're so close. If Polish can get this game, it's anybody's set, or RealThing closes it out and gets it early. Oh my gosh. Does he get the forward smash, though? Does he get off ledge? This is just so close.
Oh my god.
I just can't even believe that.
Stop it!
No one has died for so long. It's like they've... Oh, there we go.
Oh,
like...
my god.
You know, again, like, there's so much to talk about here, but like, really good neutral from both of them. The ability to stay alive for that long, while also like pressuring each other, right? Both of them were kind of like, I'm gonna do back airs, I'm gonna do nairs, I'm gonna be positioning and pushing you, and like trying to kind of find that little crack in the armor. Just really great melee.
Yeah,
and really good
I
stuff
gotta
to
say
RealThing.
there were more than one points, and I'm gonna kind of defer to some of the Peach players in chat, but it feels like a few times Polish would go for some situations where he'd get an aerial, like for instance a back air, nair, what have you, catch RealThing missing the tech, and then would look for like a mid float second aerial, and I feel like a few times in the situations towards the end of that set, I was like, just dash attack, because it connects. It gives him so much more in terms of he can find a grab off of it. He can maybe find a second aerial. I don't know if, you know, one was a better option than the other, but I felt myself almost saying that a few times over the span of games 4 and 5 with Polish and RealThing here. But I mean, good showing to both players either way. RealThing moves another round forward, actually, and will be playing on Ginger's stream up next against, it seems, Bones, who just beat Ben in a 5-game set.